and welcome to Finance Conversation. This is the 40th episode of the Merging Life and Money Show, and I am super excited to be here today. For those of you who do not know me, I am your host, Marie-Jo César. I help professional women bridge the gap between life and money by applying the relevant skills and knowledge they need to take control of their finances, manage their money, and understand that they can live their best life with the money they have. If you are watching the replay, make sure to type #replay in the chat and leave me some comments and questions. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. I come to you live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to share valuable information about how to achieve financial wellness and live your life with means and meaning. Today, I am going to talk about your financial readiness for the upcoming year. I am going to look at what you can do now to position yourself favorably as it relates to your finances for 2022. So grab a pen and a notebook, as you might want to take some notes and share them with family members, colleagues, friends, etc., because it is about sharing values that could benefit others. So if you have any questions, make sure to type them in the chat. And if you want to talk to me directly, I will share my contact information a little later in the show. As you may know, the main objective of the Merging Life and Money Show and my very strong why is to empower as many women as I can with what I know about money and finance. So the new year is almost upon us, and my wish for you is to find yourself in a better financial standing than you were in 2021. So let's say hello to a financially healthy 2022. So today I will talk about how to be financially stable and healthy in 2022. And I will focus on three main elements. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to look at is the emotional side of money, then the practical side of money, and goal setting. So to give today's show some context, let me start by stating that having the right mindset is key to succeeding with your finances in your life. This is super important because whatever you believe you can do is what you can do, and whatever you tell yourself that you cannot do, you are very likely not to do it. So let us begin. The first point I am going to address is the importance of understanding the emotional side of money. Because without awareness, the most important emotions in relation to money, and they are fear, guilt, shame, and envy, will override your rational thinking and drive your actions. So start by examining your values, okay? In so doing, you will understand clearly what matters most to you and why you set the goals that you do. You will also appreciate that the hard choices you must make will become easier when you remain true to your values and your goals. So you must also understand that the decisions you make every day are only partially based on facts and logic, and that the other part of your decision making is influenced by inner drivers that you likely are not even aware of. So by becoming aware of those complex sets of thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that you have about money, you can not only understand how you feel about money, but also why you feel the way you do. And moreover, you can put your feelings about money to work for you in a positive way and prevent them from unconsciously pulling you in an unwanted direction and derailing your best intentions. So, in so doing, you are changing your money mindset. Okay, for you to get ahead, you must forgive yourself for your many past mistakes, learn from them, and keep on moving. Also, you must be willing to change and you must be committed to getting on this journey to improving your finances and to transforming your life. While you are at it, evaluate your circle of influence and rid yourself of the relationships that are no longer serving you. If in a committed relationship, make sure to exercise financial transparency with your partner. Being open with your partner about money makes both of you less stress. Okay, so you must be open about your salary, any debt you may have, how you pay bills, your credit score, your spending habits, your assets, what you plan you may have for money in the years to come. So I should say what plans you may have for money for the years to come, and anything else involving money. Okay, so now let's look at the second point, which is like the more of a practical side of money, and it's a very vast topic. So I try to streamline some of it, and if I need to, next week I will continue. Your finances can make or break you. So having an awareness of where you stand financially is critical. So just as your values influence your financial decision, so do your needs. Okay? So you must have clarity regarding what you need to do to realize your true economic potential. And there are 5 levels of need, by the way. So the most basic financial need is income, and it covers basic living expenses such as food, housing, and utilities. The second one, to protect your earning, you must insure against unforeseen events that create setbacks. This requires to take stock of assets, including cash, anything that you own, your health, and securing against loss, theft, damage, and any potential illness. 3, to acquire assets such as a home, a car, or even education, otherwise unattainable through income alone, you need credit. Okay, so this requires you to have credit histories and credit scores to access and leverage low-cost capital. 4, the next one is savings. Okay, so when you save, you put away resources for specific goals. So the ability to save demonstrates discipline and generate confidence, a sense of achievement, and respect for oneself and others. 5, the apex of your financial needs is when you realize the vitality of your economic potential. This is a stage where you can invest in ventures, for example, that carry risk, as well as the potential for return. It represents a turning point because you have investment to generate income rather than relying solely on earned wages. So through investing, you have the opportunity to attain important life goals such as achieving financial security for your families, for your retirement, and the dignity as you age. So now let's look at your financial well-being. There are 4 numbers that gives you an overview of your financial well-being. Keep in mind that these numbers will change, So check them regularly. So the first one that comes to mind is your net worth. The first step in assessing your financial health is finding out what your net worth is. It indicates your capacity to accomplish major financial goals, such as buying your home, retiring, and withstand unexpected expenses or loss of income, for example. So your net worth is the total value of what you own, your assets, minus what you owe, your liabilities. So nothing more than that, just a snapshot for a point in time. So a growing positive net worth allows you to help you achieve your financial goals and pay for your retirement. 2, your credit score. Your credit score, again, is a snapshot of your ability to manage credit and pay back your debt. So a lower score can make it harder for you to get car and home loans. Simple as that. It might also mean a higher interest rate on money you borrow. So your credit score is a number that is calculating using information in your credit report. Okay, so credit score and credit reports are two different things. Most lenders use credit scores rather than credit reports because the scores reduce extensive detailed information about your financial history to a single number falling in the range from poor to excellent. So knowing how to fix, improve, and protect your credit score is essential for successfully navigating your financial life. 3, your credit report. Okay, your credit report lists your bill payment history, loans, current debts, other financial information. It shows where you work, where you live, and whether you have been sued, arrested, or filed for bankruptcy. It is important to check your credit report to make sure that your personal credit report agency collect and maintain accurate information about you. It also helps to make sure nobody opens a fraudulent account in your name. So if you find errors on your credit report, take the necessary steps to have them corrected. Right? So the 4th number that give an overview of your financial well-being is your short-term emergency savings as well as your long-term investment. So let's look at the short-term first. The ability to absorb a financial shock is a measure of your financial well-being. The average duration for a person to remain unemployed after a job loss is just over 7 months, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And clearly this was before COVID, right? So in addition to having emergency funds for car repairs, medical bills, or home maintenance, you must also have funds in an easily accessible savings account to cover several months of expenses. So if you are your family's primary income provider, you should probably save a bit more than 7 months. And 5, your investment and your long-term saving, right? Long-term savings accounts are designed to hold money that you do not expect to spend in the near future. They are different they are very different from your short-term savings account or your checking account, or the money that you use to set aside, the account that you use to set aside for bills and upcoming vacation, weddings and other type of expenses. So a long-term savings account allows you to take advantage of compounding interest over time. And the longer you have to save and let interest compound, the more your money can grow. So you can use long-term savings to pay for one-time expenses or to help with managing your day-to-day living cost once you are no longer working. Last but not least, let's look at the third point, and this is a bit longer than the two others that I just talked about, which is setting financial goals. So financial goals are savings, investment, and spending targets you hope to achieve over a set period of time. Also, the stage of life you are in usually determines what type of goals you wish to achieve. So, how to set up financial goals? So, first, develop a budget. Okay, budgeting is a process providing a total view of your income and expenses. A budget allows you to plan how much you will spend or save each month. It also allows you to track your spending habits. It is a way to control your lifestyle with the purpose of preventing debt and increasing savings. So, if you want to control your spending and work towards your financial goals, you need a budget. So, budgeting is telling you, I should say, budgeting is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Okay? So, it may feel like a chore, but you work hard for your money. So, you owe it to yourself to make the most of what you are earning. So, part of making the most of your money is to be careful not to let so much of it slip out of your hands after you earned it. Okay, so you're developing your budget, right? So, you have to have a spending plan. So, your everyday spending decisions have a greater impact on your long-term financial well-being than all your investment decisions combined. Okay? No one forces you to spend your money on any particular item. Your money does not tell you where it needs to be spent. Your values do. So developing a spending plan is putting your financial goals in writing. Simple as that. This process makes them more concrete and more achievable. It is a guide that will help you take control of your financial future and ultimately reach your goals. So, when developing a business plan, I will urge you to practice mindful spending, right? Understand the difference between your wants and your needs. So, mindful spending is an awareness of how your spending supports your goals, your value, and your needs. Okay, so it seeks to maximize happiness and satisfaction from all spending. So, by realizing what are your wants and what are your needs, you will be able to cut some unnecessary spending and improve your financial situation. So, here are ways you can lower your spending by telling the difference between wants and needs. So, be happy with what you have. Okay? Do not let your needs turn into wants. Think before you buy and wait before you purchase. So, evaluate what you are currently spending money on, because at the end of the day, it is all about being realistic with your spending and your income. And you should never go into debt for something you do not actually need in order to survive. All right. Also, plan for major expenses. Only borrow what you can afford. Okay. So, if you want to borrow some money, be sure you can afford any new monthly repayments on top of your current outgoings. Okay. Knowing exactly what money is coming in and going out each month will help you work out whether or not you can afford extra credit. Also to help you auto pay your bills. Okay, auto pay can be a good thing if you are committed to stay on top of your finances and have some wiggle room in your budget. Now, if you had a good handle on your spending, and you are confident that you will not overdraw your account, then auto pay is a solution for you. Now, if you are not sure, think long and hard before you do that, because you don't want to be having to pay overdraft because you don't have sufficient money in your account. In setting your financial goals, you must also develop a savings plan. So the rule is spend less than you earn. Okay? It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Yet there are many people out there burying themselves into debt, right? Meaning that they are spending more than they earn, or living purely paycheck to paycheck, meaning spending exactly what they earn. Let me also say that it is possible to confuse spend less than you earn with don't spend money you don't have. They sound much alike, but there is a big difference between spend less and don't spend more. Okay? So just think for a moment. 77% of US households that admittedly living paycheck to paycheck could claim that they are not spending more than they have. However, they are spending every nickel that they have. Therefore, living in a way that you spend less than you earn is a safe way to live. Spending less than you earn, earning more than you spend, or living below your means is a key to experiencing freedom from debt. So spending less than you earn is not something that happens to you, by the way. It is something you make happen. It is nothing else but a decision that you make. It is the attitude you choose for how you will conduct your life and manage your money. Right? The bottom line is that you cannot spend more than you make. If you cannot get the budget to balance, you either cut costs or make more money. Okay? Do not use a credit card to cover a shortfall or unnecessary expenses, because debt must be repaid. And you must save something both for emergencies and for the long term. So making a serious commitment to spending less than you earn will be the first giant step you take towards finding financial wellness. Also, in developing your savings plan, consider automating your savings, okay? Put your finance on autopilot and watch your saving grow. Remember, saving is a habit. Either you get into the habit of saving and have something in the future, or you don't. Okay? So consider also paying yourself first. Saving money is not easy, but it is essential to achieving financial wellness and securing your future. So one of the best and easiest way to save money and start a strong retirement income planning program is to pay yourself first. So every time you receive a paycheck, save a percent of your income before spending money on anything else. Okay? You may choose to have your bank automatically transfer a certain amount of money from your checking account to your savings account every month. This way, you do not see the money, so you don't miss it. All right, so I believe that I covered quite a bit here so far. So I'm going to wind down and sum it up. And it's a lot more that I like to cover, and I will probably continue next week. So today I talk about your financial readiness for 2022 and focus on a few aspects of it, like the emotional side of money, the practical side of money, and your goal setting. So I'm going to leave you with these last thoughts. It is important to review your financial information regularly, okay? It is easy to receive bills or statements and simply file them away without reviewing them. Take the time to review your bills and bank statements, okay, to monitor your progress toward your goals. Okay, this will help you spot any potential error that may cost you money. Believe it or not, many people choose to manage their finance in a reactionary way, meaning when something goes wrong. This is a big financial mistake that can affect you and your family's financial security. So make a point to actively manage your finances, as it will help you rest easy, knowing that you are not leaving your future up to chance. Okay? So, as you know, I like to end the show with a quote, and today's quote is from a gentleman by the name of Will Robinson. Don't know him, but I like what he said. He said, "Financial fitness is not a pipe dream or a state of mind. It is a reality if you are willing to pursue it and embrace it." Okay, so let me share my contact information before I forget. You can reach me by sending me an email at mj@marijocaesar.com or by sending me a DM via Messenger. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. And for more information about how to achieve financial wellness from the inside out and live a purposeful life with the money you have, join me next week, Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Atlantic Time for my Bermuda peeps, and 10 a.m. Friday, Brisbane, Australia time for my Australian friends. Thank you for being here today on the Merging Life and Money Show. I am your host, Marie-Jo César. I will be back again next week. Until then, continue merging life and money. Bye for now.